Your crown is gathering dust with each passing day. You walk by the mirror of your true power with eyes downcast, shoulders slumped, making yourself smaller and smaller until you almost vanish. But today, something changes. Today, you don't just walk past that mirror, you stop. Today, you lift your gaze and finally see who you truly are. What if I told you that every time you doubt yourself, every time you make yourself smaller, every time you say yes when you really mean no, you are not just letting yourself down, you are denying your birthright. You were born with the right to rule your own life, yet you have handed your power to others, allowing them to determine your worth. Take a deep breath. Feel the weight of this truth. Feel the power that has always lived within you, waiting patiently for you to acknowledge it. That feeling rising in your chest right now, it's not just emotion, it's recognition. It's your soul remembering who you are. Let me ask you something. How many times today did you bow when you should have stood tall? How often did you apologize for simply existing? How many times did you settle for scraps when you deserved the whole feast? Every time you do this, you take your crown, your birthright, and bury it deeper under layers of doubt and fear. I have witnessed the transformation that occurs when a woman finally embraces her true nature. A small business owner who constantly undercharged, over-delivered, and exhausted herself finally had enough. One day she looked in the mirror and asked herself, would a queen beg for what is rightfully hers? That one question changed everything. Within months, her entire business transformed. Her income tripled, but more importantly, her energy shifted. She stopped asking for permission to exist in her power. Consider another woman who spent 20 years in a relationship where she felt invisible. She gave and gave until there was nothing left of her. The day she remembered her sovereignty, everything changed. She didn't walk away from her family, she elevated them by first elevating herself. When she began treating herself with reverence, others followed suit. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about stepping on others to rise. True queens lift everyone in their presence. When you reclaim your power, you inspire others to reclaim theirs. This is about bridging the gap between who you truly are and how you've been living. That gap is filled with beliefs that were never truly yours. Patterns that once protected you, kept you safe, kept you acceptable, but also kept you small. But you weren't born to be small. You weren't born to blend in, you were born to reign. The time has come to stop waiting for permission, to stop looking for validation, to stop waiting for the perfect moment to claim your power. A queen doesn't wait for her coronation, she knows she was born with a crown. Think back to the last time you felt powerful. Hold that memory in your mind. What changed? Your posture was different? Your voice carried strength, your presence filled the space. That wasn't you becoming someone new. That was you remembering who you've always been. Your inner sovereign is not something you need to create. She has always been there, waiting. Every time you've stood up for yourself, every time you've trusted your instincts, every time you've chosen your own path, that was her. She is the voice that whispers, you deserve more when the world tells you to settle. She is the fire that burns in your chest when someone tries to diminish you, but somewhere along the way you learn to silence her. You learn to doubt her wisdom. You learn to ignore her guidance in favor of what others expected of you. And with each compromise, with each hesitation, with each maybe later, her voice grew quieter. Let me show you what happens in that silence. A brilliant executive sits in meetings with groundbreaking ideas but says nothing. Someone else will probably say it better, she thinks. A talented artist undervalues her work because she sees others doing the same. A mother gives and gives until she is drained, believing that's what good mothers do. These patterns run deep, but they are not your truth. They are habits. And habits can be broken. Your inner sovereign already knows this. She has been waiting for you to realize it too. Starting today, we will awaken her, not slowly, not gently, but with the full force of recognition. Because every moment you spend playing small is a moment stolen from your destiny. Here's what most people misunderstand about power. It is not about controlling others. True power, queenly power, is about mastering yourself. It's about making choices from a place of sovereignty rather than fear. It's about setting your own standards instead of bending to someone else's expectations. When you awaken this power, everything shifts. The same situations that used to drain you become opportunities to demonstrate your strength. The conversation you've been avoiding, that becomes your chance to speak with grace and authority. The boundary you've been afraid to set, that becomes your opportunity to honor your own worth. I have seen women transform their entire lives, not by changing their circumstances, but by changing how they show up in those circumstances. The energy shifts, the dynamic shifts, the entire room shifts when a woman who knows her worth walks in. Your inner sovereign already knows how to handle every challenge you face. She knows when to speak and when to listen. She knows when to stay and when to walk away. She knows the difference between compromise and sacrifice. Most importantly, she knows that your worth is non-negotiable. This awakening isn't about becoming someone new. It's about peeling away everything that isn't truly you. It's about shedding the layers of doubt, fear, and false beliefs that have obscured your natural brilliance. Like a diamond buried under dirt, your radiance has never faded, it's just been hidden. But the time for hiding is over. Your inner sovereign is rising, and she will not be denied. What does it mean to carry yourself like a queen? It's not about wearing a crown or sitting on a throne. It's about recognizing that every decision you make, every word you speak, every action you take is shaping the kingdom of your life. A queen does not chase, she attracts. She does not beg, she commands. She does not react, she responds. These are not just poetic words. They are guiding principles that, when applied, transform your entire reality. Observe what happens when a woman steps into her power. The same boardroom where she once felt invisible now becomes her court. The same relationships where she once felt powerless become balanced. The same challenges that once overwhelmed her become opportunities to display her sovereignty. Consider this. A woman enters a room. In one scenario, she thinks, I hope they like me. I hope I don't say the wrong thing. I hope I fit in. Her energy is scattered, her presence diminished, her power leaking away through 1,000 tiny doubts. In another scenario, she walks in thinking, I bring value to this space. My presence is a gift. My voice carries wisdom. Same room, same woman, completely different reality. This is not about pretending, it's about remembering. Remember how a queen handles disrespect? Not with anger, not with defensiveness, but with calm authority. I understand your perspective. However, this is how we will proceed. 5 simple words that set the tone for all future interactions. Watch how a queen manages her time. She doesn't fill every moment with activity to prove her worth. She moves with purpose, with intention. Her no is as powerful as her yes. She understands that when she says no to what doesn't serve her, she is saying yes to what does. This is what happens when you embrace your power. Your presence becomes magnetic, not because you try to be, but because you simply are. And the world will take notice. You're not just trying to gain attention, but because you're completely present in your power, people sense it, they respond to it, and they respect it. But here's what's truly important to understand. This transformation isn't about pretending or putting on a mask. It's about shedding everything that isn't truly you. It's about letting go of the roles you've played to satisfy others. It's about stepping back into your natural state of sovereignty. When you embrace this real sense of nobility, something incredible takes place. The same situations that once drained you now become moments where you showcase your grace. The same individuals who once overwhelmed you now become mere figures in your world. The same difficulties that once defeated you now become moments to reveal your strength. Your strength doesn't come from attempting to control every situation. It lies in understanding that no matter what happens, you remain in control of yourself. This is the true sign of nobility. This is what it truly means to be a queen. The way you start your morning sets the energy for your entire kingdom. Most women wake up and immediately start attending to others, checking notifications, answering requests, reacting to problems. But a queen understands that the first hour of her day belongs to her. This isn't selfishness, this is sovereignty. Let me guide you on how to reorganize your inner palace, starting with the very first moments of your morning. When you wake up, don't instantly grab your phone. Don't immediately connect to other people's demands. Instead, take a pause. Take 3 deep breaths and feel the power stirring inside you. Feel your connection to your inner throne. This is your sacred time, a moment to sit in stillness, to connect with your own energy, to set the intention for your day. A queen doesn't rush into her day like a servant scrambling to meet endless demands. She steps into her day with confidence, with clarity, fully aware of her sovereignty. Think about how you've been starting your days, constantly racing against time, trying to accommodate everyone, feeling exhausted before the day even begins. That's not the rhythm of a queen. That's not your natural rhythm. Your natural rhythm is one of strength, purpose, and presence. Here's what happens when you restructure your inner world. Your thoughts begin to align with your real nature. Instead of, I hope I can, you begin thinking, I will. Instead of, what if they don't like me? You start asking, what if I don't like them? Instead of, I should, you say, I choose. Watch how this shift transforms not only your thoughts, but also your physical presence. Your posture naturally straightens. Your movements become more intentional. Your voice carries greater authority. This isn't about pretending to be something you're not. It's about allowing your external self to reflect the power within you. Your inner palace requires clear boundaries. Think of them as royal guards standing at attention, safeguarding your energy, your time, and your peace. When someone makes an unreasonable request, your boundaries step in. They don't argue, they don't fight, they simply stand firm. Establish rituals that remind you of your authority. Before entering any situation, pause. Take a moment to adjust your crown. Feel its weight. Feel its significance. This isn't just imagination. This is you reconnecting with your innate power. Your inner palace must be a place of honesty. No more lying to yourself about what you truly want. No more pretending things are fine when they aren't. No more settling for less than what you deserve. A queen builds her inner world on absolute truth. Pay attention to how your energy shifts when you maintain these habits. You no longer need to force confidence. You no longer need to plan out what you'll say in every situation. You no longer need to explain your choices to others. Your power flows effortlessly because you are no longer resisting it. This transformation isn't about adding more tasks to your already busy day. It's about shifting how you approach everything you already do. It's about being conscious of your choices. It's about moving through life with the certainty that you are indeed royalty. Your inner world is your sanctuary, your source of power, and your place of truth. When you align your daily practices with this realization, everything changes. Your decisions become clearer. Your boundaries become stronger. Your presence becomes more commanding. Remember, every queen in history had to learn how to rule. They had to learn how to carry their crown. They had to learn how to embrace their strength. This is your time to learn. This is your time to step into your power. Your body always knows the truth. It knows when you are living below your potential. It knows when you are giving away your power. Every time you say yes when you truly mean no, every time you make yourself small to make others feel comfortable, every time you silence your own voice, your body keeps track. But here's the beautiful part. Your body also knows your real strength. When you stand in your truth, your entire being responds. Your shoulders naturally roll back. Your chin lifts. Your breath deepens. Your voice carries a natural authority. This isn't just transformation, this is restoration. This is you returning to your real self. Let me show you what happens when you align with your truth. A woman who was constantly exhausted, constantly drained, constantly running on empty, finally began listening to her inner wisdom. She stopped forcing herself to socialize when she needed solitude. She stopped pushing through fatigue when she needed rest. She stopped agreeing to requests that drained her energy. Within weeks, her energy completely changed. Her presence became magnetic. People started reacting to her differently, not because she was doing more, but because she was finally being herself. She wasn't just existing, she was ruling. Your inner truth is your guiding force. When you align with it, decisions become simple. Should you accept that opportunity? Should you continue that relationship? Should you make that change? Your body will tell you. Your intuition will lead you. A queen doesn't waste time overanalyzing. She listens to her inner wisdom and moves forward accordingly. Notice what happens when you start speaking your truth with grace. Not aggressively, not defensively, but with calm certainty, as someone who knows her worth. This doesn't work for me. I see things differently. I expect more. Simple statements that change everything. Your emotions are messengers from your inner truth. When you feel anger, it's often because boundary has been crossed. When you feel resentment, it's often because you're giving too much. When you feel anxious, it's often because you're ignoring your intuition. These emotions aren't problems to be ignored. They are wisdom to be heard. Think about how often you've disregarded these messages. How many times have you pushed through discomfort because you felt obligated? How many times have you ignored your intuition because someone else's opinion seemed more valid? Each time you were denying your own power. But right now, today, you can choose differently. You can choose to honor your inner knowing. You can choose to trust yourself. You can choose to let your truth lead you. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you've always been. When you align with your truth, something remarkable happens. The exhaustion of keeping up appearances disappears. The stress of constantly second-guessing yourself fades. The weight of others' expectations lifts. In its place, you find a strength that feels both new and deeply familiar. Your truth is your power. It's not something you have to create, it's something you need to remember, to reclaim, to embody. This is what it means to be sovereign over yourself. This is what it means to be a queen. Now that you've reclaimed your throne, it's time to build your empire. Your empire isn't just about your career or your home. It's about every part of your life where your influence extends. Every relationship, every project, every decision becomes part of your kingdom. A queen builds her empire with intention. She doesn't rush. She doesn't settle. She chooses, she selects, she decides. This is the power of true sovereignty. Realize that you hold the power to ask for more. A true queen understands this. She sets the expectations in her kingdom. Take a moment to observe your surroundings. Look at your space, whether it's your home, your workplace, or your relationships. Does everything around you reflect the value you bring? If not, it's time to make some royal adjustments. This isn't about spending money. It's about elevating the energy of everything in your environment. When constructing your empire, every interaction becomes a moment to show your authority. If someone challenges your boundaries, it's an opportunity to display your strength. If someone questions your value, it's your chance to assert your confidence. If someone tests your commitment, it's a moment to reaffirm your power. Your empire flourishes through the choices you make, not through being overly busy. A queen does not prove her value through constant movement. She knows that sometimes the most impactful action is stillness, to observe, to strategize, and to wait for the perfect moment. Her mere presence is enough to command respect. See how this changes your professional life. You no longer undervalue your work. You stop apologizing for your rates. You no longer downplay your accomplishments. Instead, you start operating from a position of certainty in your worth. Your work becomes a gift to the world, not a desperate plea for acceptance. Your relationships transform as well. You stop settling for mere scraps of affection. You no longer make excuses for poor behavior. You refuse to sacrifice your peace for temporary comfort. A queen understands that solitude is better than disrespect, that being alone is far superior to being surrounded by the wrong people. Creating your empire requires a vision, not just for the immediate future, but for the legacy you intend to leave behind. Every queen recognizes that her influence extends beyond her direct reach. The expectations you uphold, the limits you set, and the dignity you demand serve as a guide for others, especially the women watching you. Your empire is not built overnight. It grows through intentional decisions, unwavering commitment to your values, and a graceful but firm approach to your boundaries. Every choice you make is a foundation stone in your palace. Every standard you enforce is a jewel in your crown. Never forget, you are not merely building an empire, you are crafting a legacy. Each time you recognize your value, each time you remain firm in your principles, each time you stand in your power, you are showing others what is possible. This is how queens shape the world, not by force, but by leading through example. Stand at the edge of what you have built and gaze beyond. Everything you desire, every opportunity, every vision, it is all within your grasp. When you truly step into your authority as a queen, the walls that once constrained you fade away. Your potential is not limited by your past. It is not defined by your current situation. It is not restricted by the expectations of others. A queen knows that her future is formed by her present choices, her current mindset, and her willingness to act. Each moment carries the potential for transformation. Notice what happens when you stop asking, "Can I?" and start declaring, "I will." The energy shifts. Doors open, the path ahead becomes clear. It's not that obstacles vanish, it's that you stop seeing them as barriers and start viewing them as stepping stones to prove your power. Think about how often you have held yourself back, believing that something was too hard, too risky, or that it was too late. But what if those limitations were only in your mind? What if your only true constraint was your belief in your own possibilities? A queen does not wait for the perfect conditions to take action. She does not need everything to be aligned before she moves. She steps forward with confidence, knowing that her presence alone reshapes the circumstances around her. Her determination attracts opportunities. Her clarity draws in the right people. Her certainty makes the impossible possible. Your ability to create extends far beyond what you have been conditioned to believe. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take is shaping your reality. When you think like a queen, speak like a queen, and act like a queen, the world responds in kind. Notice how this realization changes everyday situations. A difficult conversation becomes an opportunity to show wisdom. A setback becomes preparation for a greater victory. A rejection becomes a chance to create your own path. This isn't about just thinking positively, it's about thinking with sovereignty, understanding that you have the power to choose, to create, and to lead. When you fully embrace this truth, you stop asking for permission to succeed. You stop waiting for approval to move forward. You stop seeking validation to shine. Your energy ripples outward, affecting everything you touch. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you honor your worth, it all sends waves of possibility into the world. Others will start seeing what is possible for them simply by watching you embrace what is possible for yourself. Remember, a queen's power is not in controlling everything around her. It is in knowing that no matter what happens outside of her, she remains in control of herself. This unshakable confidence, this deep-rooted knowledge of your own sovereignty is what opens the door to limitless opportunities. Your coronation is not a future event. It is happening right now. With every breath you take, you are given the chance to step even more into your strength. Each moment is an opportunity to choose power over hesitation, courage over comfort, truth over illusion. Feel the weight of your crown. Feel how naturally it sits upon your head. Feel how it straightens your posture, lifts your chin, and expands your heart. This is not about pretending. It is about remembering. Remembering who you were before the world told you to shrink. From this moment forward, you move differently. When you enter a room, you do not seek permission to be there. When you speak, you do not apologize for your voice. When you achieve, you do not minimize your success. You carry yourself with the dignity that has always belonged to you. Your daily habits become your royal rituals. Your quiet moments in the morning become your sacred time of power. Your self-care is no longer a luxury, it is a necessity. Your boundaries are no longer negotiable, they are law. A queen who neglects herself cannot lead effectively. Every decision should reflect your sovereignty. When someone asks for your time, pause. Ask yourself, is this worthy of my attention? When an opportunity arises, consider, does this align with my highest purpose? When challenges appear, remind yourself, how would a queen handle this? Your power is not something you must prove. It is something you must embody. Watch how people react when you stop over-explaining, stop justifying your choices, stop seeking permission. A queen speaks her truth and lets it stand on its own merit. This transformation is not about perfection. Even queens have moments of uncertainty. Even queens face setbacks. Even queens make mistakes. But a queen does not allow these moments to define her. She learns, she adjusts, she rises, and she always rises. From this moment onward, let every step you take be filled with intention. Let every word you speak carry strength. Let every choice you make reflect your value. Your empire is waiting. Your power is ready. Your time is now. Never forget, you were born for this. Born to rule your life with grace and strength. Born to make an impact through your presence. Born to inspire transformation through your example. This is not about becoming someone new. It is about embracing who you have always been. The crown has always been yours. The power has always been within you. The kingdom has always been your inheritance. Now is the time to claim it. Now is the time to rise. Now is the time to reign. Step into your authority. Embrace your strength. Claim your crown. You are a queen. It's time to act like one.